Hello, tech fans. I'm Dave Graveline. This is ITTV, your weekly trip into tomorrow. I'm just back from Shanghai with this bad cold, where we were covering CES Asia. If you missed any of the 3 hours of coverage from this event in China, be sure to stop by our site. Check out the free podcast from the radio show. You can subscribe too. It's all there for you at intotomorrow.com. Many of us use these so-called thumb drives every day. Usually there's nothing special about them. But this week, Chris takes a look at one that claims to be different. Here's this week's Product Spotlight.
On this week's Product Spotlight, I'm talking about a thumb drive. Yep, one of these babies. Now I hear you now asking, what's so special about a thumb drive? These things are everywhere. Well, this new one that we came across is not your typical thumb drive. This is the Envoy Pro Mini from OWC. This is a full-size desktop-class SSD drive that you throw in your pocket. And it's big enough to fit all of your stuff. This particular one is 240 gigabytes. Now they also have a 120 gigabyte version, and we hear that a 480 gigabyte version might be coming soon. Now we've talked for years about SSD on our radio show. We've always said that with your computer hard drives, if you can afford SSD, do it. The speed compared to a traditional hard drive is amazing. Now, in fact, with these thumb drives, I did some unscientific tests where I copied a few large files onto my computer from the USB thumb drive that I typically use on a daily basis, then copied those same files onto the computer using the Envoy Pro Mini. Now, these are both SSD, but the Envoy seems to be much faster. One reason is its USB 3.0 interface, which can be up to 10 times faster than the older USB 2.0 drives. Being that it's a large drive, I found it to be perfect for backing up my important data from my office computer. And since I can throw it in my pocket and take it home, I now have an off-site backup of my data. Because you know, a backup doesn't do you any good if there's a fire and your computer and backup are in the same place and get barbecued. The other reason the high transfer speeds are important, at least for me, is I do a lot of video editing. I used to have to copy all of my video files to my desktop computer's hard drive because the external thumb drives just weren't fast enough and my program would always crash. I haven't had that problem with this drive. I can leave my video files on the flash drive and edit right from there. The Envoy Pro Mini is a bit pricey. You can get the 120 gig version for about $120, and the 240 gig sells for just under $200. However, if you typically transfer a lot of data and you need to take it with you, it may be well worth the cost. It's housed in a tough aluminum shell, so it's pretty rugged and can withstand some harsh treatment. Now, if you'd like more information on the Envoy Pro Mini from OWC, stop by our site at intotomorrow.com.
Have you made the jump to SSD yet? Could you see yourself spending that kind of money for an SSD flash drive? Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts and send you prizes for participating. Comment below or call our Ask Dave hotline anytime, 24/7. 1-800-899-INTO. That's 1-800-899-4686. Of course, as always, you can use our free app to participate on the program too. Just remember to select the audio option so we get to hear you, and then send you prizes for doing it. Don't forget that you can get social with us anytime. Check out our Facebook page and make sure you hit that like button while you're there, of course. Then head on over to our official Twitter feed at IT Radio Show. Links to these and other social media sites are on our main page at intotomorrow.com. Chris is back now with his feature This Week in Tech History, including the release of one of the most popular video games of all time.
This week in 1935, inventor Edwin Armstrong gave the first public demonstration of FM broadcasting in the United States in Alpine, New Jersey. In 1965, this week, Ed White became the first American to perform a spacewalk.
Okay, my feet are out. I think I'm dragging a little bit, so I don't want to fire the gun yet. Okay, I'm out. Okay, now. This is the greatest experience. It's just tremendous.
He did this as a member of the Gemini 4 crew. In 1984, this week, Tetris, one of the best-selling video games of all time, was first released in the USSR. In 1995, the long-range Boeing 777 entered service with United Airlines. And this week in 1996, Linux version 2.0 was released. 2.0 was a significant improvement over the earlier versions of the operating system that some experts said would become a competitor for Microsoft Windows. That's our look back at This Week in Tech History, brought to you by IFA Berlin, the global innovation show for consumer tech and home appliances, with a rich history all its own. Get more info on this massive annual event at ifa-berlin.com. How do you learn more about what we talk about on Into Tomorrow? By subscribing to our free once-a-week tech newsletter, of course. In it, you'll also find links to our show pages, guests' websites, and lots more. Stop by our main page, enter your email address in the red box, then click the link in the confirmation email you'll receive. That's all it takes to have Into Tomorrow in your inbox once a week.
While you're on our site, don't forget to support our troops with our campaign for just that. Scroll to the bottom of our main page and click that link. That'll take you to a page which lists all sorts of ways you can say thanks to the men and women defending our great country every day. Well, that'll do it for this edition of Into Tomorrow. Don't forget to tune in to our 3-hour radio show and participate to win prizes. Details at intotomorrow.com. Until next time, we'll catch you online and, of course, on the radio. I'm Dave Graveline.